to my channel. So in today's video, it's going to be the start of a redecorating week, hopefully. Don't hold me to it because sometimes I try them and they take so long that I can't get them out, so I have to post something else. But I'm really going to try to post 5 back-to-back redecorating videos from today being Monday all the way up till Friday. So I have one already done. I actually redecorated it over the weekend so that I had kind of a head start on myself. So hopefully that's going to make it a little bit easier trying to get these out every day. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's definitely turned out like my favourite Redeco squishy so far. But before I got straight into it, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the support for everybody on my video yesterday, which was my first ever sponsored video. I'm just so happy with the response and you guys joining me over on the app. I interacted with loads of you, chatting to you for a good while on messages. I also followed every single one of you back. I've been on there like every couple of hours following everyone back. So yeah, just wanted to say a huge thank you before I began the video. And I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm just going to get straight on into it.
So as you would have seen from the thumbnail, this is the squishy that I tried to redecorate today, and this was the jumbo watermelon squishy that I got from Banggood. The reason that I actually chose to do this one was because I've actually ruined it with my nails. As you can see all over it, there's kind of like little nail marks in the green paint, which really bugs me now when I go to squish it. There's probably about 25 to 30 different nail marks in it, which I know sounds pretty gross, but they're all in it, like little tiny ones that aren't really showing up on camera, and yeah, they're just, you know, really annoying me. This squishy squishes really well. It's quite hard to squish because it is so big, but it does squish really nicely. It's really soft, and to be honest, I would really recommend getting one of these jumbo ones if you haven't already, as it's kind of a total different experience to the normal size ones. So I will leave the link in the description down below to where exactly I got this one from, the listing I got it from and everything like that, so that you can kind of check it out. So what I did was I actually just went straight in with my scissors and just started cutting away at that red bit. As you can see, I just cut out little chunks and then just pulled bits off with my hands. I went ahead and removed all the red from all the way around. I just used the tip of my scissors to kind of cut into the foam, and let me tell you, it was so satisfying to cut this. You have no idea. Like, it's so satisfying to squish squishies anyway, but with scissors, oh my goodness, the amount of fun you can have with cutting these up is incredible. But I knew I was going to be making this into something better, so, you know, I wasn't feeling like regret from cutting it up or anything, so I think that kind of helped. But yeah, let's just stop talking, Chelsey. So once all the red was fully removed, I then tested out for squishiness. It didn't affect it one bit. The foam was just super slow rising, but the foam in the middle without that paint stuff on was so soft and squishy, like you have no idea. Anyway, what I then did was I moved on and made my own puffy paint for this DIY. So I actually made up like quite a bit of acrylic paint with white acrylic paint, PVA glue. I actually used some latex glue and some pink acrylic paint. I then went ahead and added in some shaving foam, as you just seen, and I just mixed that in until I got a really nice thick gloopy texture. There was no exact measurements, I just mixed in 2 types of glue, acrylic paint and puffy paint. This was definitely an idea that I got from Karina Garcia when she did that giant what did she do? A pineapple squishy, that was it. And she made like glue, acrylic and puffy paint mixture with shaving foam mixed in. So that's exactly what I did. I had no idea how much of anything to put in, so I just basically popped everything into a bowl, mixed it up until it was a nice thick gloopy type texture. As you can see here, I went like full vlog mode with my camera in my left hand, which was so hard to stabilize, just while I spread it on so you can see the texture of the paint that you want to get. I basically painted the whole of the squishy 2 times, and this was just to build up a really nice pink colour. And then once those 2 layers on the main bit of the watermelon were fully dry, I then went ahead and painted like the edges of the watermelon and then the bits that I'd missed near the bottom. Because I didn't paint all the way to the bottom, there was still some green bits showing through, and this was just because I didn't want it to run or seep onto like my table or anything like that. So yeah, I just left the edges, and I knew I'd go back in and paint them once I painted the edges like I'm doing now. So I then let this dry again, and once all the pink was fully dry, I then went in with some blue and I just painted this all the way around the pink, just making a nice blue stripe. I then went ahead and painted on the face. I just used normal puffy paint for this because it was only going to take a tiny bit. And I just took black puffy paint for the eyes and the mouth. I then took some white puffy paint for the highlight of the eyes, and also some pink puffy paint for the tongue. I just chose to use a normal puffy paint for this. As I said, there was only a little bit, so I didn't really mind not having a puffy paint mixture made up. So next, not wanting to waste all that pink paint that I had left over, I went ahead and mixed some brown slick paint into the pink. This didn't really do an awful lot, it just kind of tinted it a little bit, which was kind of disappointing because I wanted it more to be like a warmer brown colour. So what I actually went ahead and did was added a little bit of this brown acrylic paint, not a lot, about the size of like a 50p piece, and I just popped that in and mixed it all the way through, and that definitely tinted it to the colour I wanted. So what I then did was I added a little bit more of the brown to darken it up a tiny bit more, and then I just kind of poured it onto the very top of the squishy, and I just kind of like blended that out with my lollipop stick. I did it this way just to save myself so much time for kind of like spreading it on. I just went, you know, fully into it and poured it on, and to be honest, it was really satisfying. But I let this dry for another 6 hours or so. Honestly, you have no idea how long this squishy has taken me to make. It's taken me approximately like 5 days. 5 days. So that's why I had to start pre-filming ahead of time, you know? But anyway, to make the final decoration, I then took some jasmine coloured silicone and I just spread this out all the way along the top. Now you can probably guess what this is, but this was actually meant to be noodles. I chose to use silicone because it does dry flexible and thought it would be the greatest material to use. So I then left that to dry for 24 hours.
Okay, so I tried my best not to put it in a thumbnail, not to put like the finished product on screen after the silicone and everything had dried, so that I could kind of do, that's on my behalf, so I could kind of do a little reveal to you, and here it is. Aww, don't you just love it? This is possibly my favourite DIY like redeco ever. Like, I just love it so much. It also matches on my jumper perfectly. I didn't even plan this. I just wanted to wear this jumper today, and yeah, that's why probably I love it so much, because it literally matches what I love to a T. But here it is. Here's the little face. Hopefully it will focus nicely if I block out my own face. But the face across the front with the blue stripe. It's then got all the noodles and everything inside, which I think actually looks really realistic. And I just love it. They need to make a squishy that looks exactly like this, because I would buy it. Even though I have one already, I would buy it. I love it that much. But you're probably wondering, how does it squish still with the silicone? The silicone is actually, like, it dries flexible. That's why I chose silicone as the material. I did find a few other materials which kind of match noodles a bit better, but I think this one came pretty close, and the fact that silicone still dries all flexible because look, you can just like squish it itself. The squishy still squishes, what's this face gone? It's under my hand. The squishy still squishes really nicely even with those noodles on, look. Doesn't ruin them at all, they're kind of moulded to the foam now. Just so hard to squish these giant ones, like honestly. I also made this with homemade paint, which I think worked out really, really well. The fact that I did homemade paint on this one was just because it was so big that I didn't want to spend a fortune on the amount of puffy paint to cover this. That would have been incredible. But the homemade paint worked really, really well, and dare I say it actually worked better than like the store-bought puffy paint. I shouldn't say that, but you know, I did. But yeah, here it is. I just love it so much. It's just so gorgeous. The colours are so gorgeous, and yes, I'm allowed to say it even though it is mine. But yeah, hopefully this will help if I like get out of the screen. Here are its noodles. Here's its little face. Let's squish its face. Just look at it. It's just so cute. So cute. Oh, I love it. So anyway, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who watched this video, everyone who supported me on my last one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get this Redeco week to happen, because I really want it to happen because of the amount of requests I have been getting. So yeah, I'm gonna go, and I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!